Dakota shocks Hollywood, reveals $20 million agreement and Jamie Dornan's secret promise. The announcement that set Hollywood on fire. It started like any ordinary late-night interview, calm lighting, playful small talk, a glass of water beside Dakota Johnson's polished fingernails. No one expected an explosion. No one expected history. But 5 minutes in, Dakota leaned back, smiled in a way that hinted she knew exactly what she was about to do, and dropped a statement that sent Hollywood spiraling into chaos. There was a $20 million agreement, and Jamie made me a promise I'll never forget. The audience gasped so loudly it echoed through the studio walls. Within seconds, Twitter lit up like a grid shorting out. Clips circulated faster than wildfire, headlines built themselves before journalists even took breath, and fans sat frozen, waiting, needing the next sentence. What $20 million? What promise? Why now? No one blinked. And Dakota continued. A deal buried in time, the contract no one knew existed. Dakota, long known for her elegant honesty, leaned into the microphone, playful but sharp. People think 50 Shades was just acting. They have no idea what it cost us. She revealed something no Hollywood archive ever recorded. A clause, unnamed, unconfirmed, undocumented by media, that awarded the two stars of 50 Shades an additional $20 million split bonus if they completed the trilogy without walking away. A test of endurance. Of emotional resilience. Of chemistry, real or perceived. We didn't get paid for intimacy, Dakota said. We got paid to withstand the world watching us lose privacy. For years, the world assumed glamour. It was investment. Sacrifice. And now, truth. The weight of fame, and Jamie's private words. Dakota paused after the revelation, breathing slowly, as though she had carried that truth for too long. Then she told the part that broke the internet. Before we signed the final contract, Jamie turned to me and said, "If you stay, so will I promise." Not scripted. Not staged. A whispered vow between two actors standing on the edge of one of the most controversial franchises in modern cinema. Jamie made a promise, not of romance, not of forever, but of loyalty through the storm. He looked me in the eyes, Dakota recalled. And he said he wouldn't let me face the world alone. And suddenly, it made sense. The interviews. The stolen glances. The synchronized laughter. The steady partnership everyone mistook for unspoken love. It wasn't romance. It was survival. The internet reacts, shock, heartbreak, and awe. By the time the interview segment ended, global socials had exploded. #Dakota 20 million. #Jamie Promise. #50 Shades Truth. Fans who spent years shipping them weren't angry, they were devastated and fascinated. Comments flooded faster than software could handle. He promised to stay? My heart can't take this. $20 million keeps you in the room, but loyalty keeps you alive. This is deeper than any romance rumor ever was. Fan edits weren't soft or romantic anymore. They were epic. Two warriors against a world that wanted them to be lovers. Two humans bound by a contract most marriages couldn't survive. The pressure no one saw. The trilogy may have grossed billions, but the emotional price was priceless and brutal. Dakota finally described what fame actually looked like. Sleepless nights. Panic before red carpets. Internet theories like wildfire. Personal relationships strained. Being sexualized globally. And Jamie, carrying the weight of expectation, dealing with criticism, protecting his family through silence, was her anchor. Dakota's voice tightened. People thought we were in love. No one asked if we were okay. Because Hollywood sells fantasy. Reality never makes the poster. The day the promise was tested. There was a moment, never publicly disclosed, where Dakota almost quit the franchise after 50 Shades Darker wrapped. She felt stripped, exposed, overwhelmed by the intensity of media fixation. And just before she made the final decision, she phoned Jamie. "Dakota, I don't know if I can do the third." "Jamie, then I'll walk with you. The promise still stands." He was ready to drop $10 million without hesitation. Ready to leave the franchise that built him globally. Not for love. Not for career balance. But because he gave his word. Dakota broke down recounting it. He would have lost everything, just to keep one promise. That was the moment she stayed. Not for the money. For the friendship. Hollywood scrambles, studios in panic and admiration. The revelation spread through executive offices like a contagious fever. Emails blasted. Phones rang past midnight. Producers whispered. He almost walked? For her? What they misunderstood for romance was actually integrity, rarer in Hollywood than Oscar gold. Jamie's agent later admitted privately. No amount of money buys that kind of loyalty. Studios will worship it for decades. Jamie responds, 3 words that break every wall. 24 hours later, Jamie Dornan issued a statement, not defensive, not dismissive, but heartbreakingly simple. A promise is a promise. No denial. No elaboration. Just confirmation, enough to ignite the world again. Dakota shared his post with a single emoji. And that was all it took for the internet to convert shock into reverence. Fans worldwide begin to understand. This wasn't scandal. Wasn't cheating. Wasn't secret romance. It was something rarer. A story of partnership forged in pressure. Fame tried to break them. Money tested them. Rumors misinterpreted them. But the truth was bigger. They didn't fall in love. They fell into trust. The final question, and Dakota's answer. In the final minutes of the interview, the host asked the question millions held in their throats. Do you think you and Jamie would have survived Hollywood without that promise? Dakota inhaled, exhaled, and smiled like someone who had finally forgiven the world for misunderstanding her. No. That promise saved both of us. A friendship built not on fantasy, but on courage under fire. A contract written on paper. And a vow written in human connection. They weren't a love story. They were something stronger. A loyalty story the world tried to rewrite. Until Dakota revealed the truth.